Welcome to another episode of DD on the Spot. I'm not even going to do an introduction anymore because Maria, she's on the podcast again. I mean, this is either her like fifth or sixth time. I lost track, really, honestly. So like
You're probably tired. Your audience probably tired of seeing.
oh, are you kidding me? No, they're tired of seeing me. Are you ridiculous? But no, I mean, she's been on here so many times, she doesn't even need an introduction. So, Maria, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Hi guys.
Well, why don't we start off now? So you actually told me something interesting. So you're in like what, 15 degrees, 15, 17 degrees now?
Yeah, in Virginia, and then days like today or when it snowed a couple of days ago, I miss Tampa. Go figure that one out, right?
Which is weird because I would have never pictured Virginia as being that cold of a
Yeah,
state. So
yeah. It's been cold lately.
yeah.
So yeah, and when you're not used to that, I mean you bundle up, but you can feel it through your bones. Yeah. So, but hey, it's beautiful out though. It's beautiful. You
Yeah,
know.
it's something that you get used. I mean, I hate to say you get used to it, but you really do, just living here and just knowing all that. But what have you been up to basically these last 8 months since we had you on?
Well, same old thing. I just remember I had injuries last season, so the wrist injury's gone away because I went and had the cortisone shots. But then the elbow's still there, but it's not as bad as it was. So I can actually curl now. But then sometimes when you know that you're feeling better, you curl a little bit heavier, and then you feel that pain again. It's like you stupid. It's like learn. So you back off a little bit. But I've been doing pretty good. Same thing, training. Uh, just hanging out. At what I've been doing is actually been looking at videos because your training gets stagnant and stuff like that. So I've been looking at videos with other trainers and stuff, and trying to get some tips from them. And found this one guy I really liked on the website. His training methods. I've been trying that at the gym. I've been going to Gold's Gym lately, and a couple of times I do my cardio here at home. But I've been going to Gold's Gym. My husband and I, just to see people. Because when you're stuck in the house, that's kind of what we do. We just go to the gym and come back, and so we see people over there. And but yeah, but I found this guy on the website. He's really pretty good, and so I've been trying to try his methods and stuff, and it really works. You think that it's like, oh my god, that looks so easy, but when you go and you try it, it's like, no, it's not. Yeah, but I've been having fun with that. Still, I haven't made any plans about any competition this season. My husband, is kind of like going to that because he's like, well, I'll support you in whatever you do, and he goes, but you still have something in you left, and then and I'm like, we'll see how it goes, because the diet never bothered me, but it's just it kind of feels good not to worry about, you got to go train particular time and you got to go do your cardio. I mean, this time I'm doing, whatever whenever I feel like it, and I'm still very pretty much structured. Cardio is not as much anymore. I don't go like every single day, twice a day. I've been going like every other day, not every day, like or twice a day. It's like nah, that's so that is still been gaining a little bit. Went up. I'm about between 15, 20 pounds from my contest weight, which is very good. Because I can actually just drop a dime and get right back on it. But same old thing. Training, eating, and baking. And hey, this time I actually baked some of my cookies the other day when I baked. Before I told you I would bake and then I would just see how it looks. This time around, I was kind of craving it actually, so I went and baked, and then I said, oh, this is pretty good. Yeah, but I didn't eat five. I only ate about one, and that was it. I think because my dog follows me when he sees a cookie in my hand, he follows me around.
Oh, my dog just follows me whenever I walk into the kitchen, no matter what. Even if I have anything with me or not, it'll just follow me around. But those videos that you watch online, how do they? What type of different training do they do? That you said like it looks easy, and then
A
it's
lot
not
of it is
easy.
a form, and it's how he holds the equipment, his hands, where he places his hands, and then how sometimes it's like you think you're getting a full range of motion, and you're really not because you just stay wherever your hand takes you, but actually if you go and strive a little bit further and pull it back the way you're supposed to. And then it's Mike Van Wyck, I think is his name. He's from Canada. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy. He's a pro, but I don't think he competes anymore. Probably makes a lot more money training people and having his own podcast. But yeah, so yeah, I've adjusted my training and followed his methodology. It's really pretty cool, because like okay, make sure you press your chest all the way into the bench. That's what that's what that pad is for. It's like hello, yeah, you're right. And then he and I found that he said your chest. If you push your chest towards your lats, so you can spread your lats out when you're doing back. So I tried that. I'm like, oh my God, he's right. I can really feel it more. And I took my husband through that to one of his workouts, and I pretended that I created that myself, but I didn't. He doesn't
Even
have to
better.
know that. Yeah, because when I go down and do my cardio, if I'm riding the bike down for cardio, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at stuff, trying to see where I can find better ways to improve my training. And then yeah, and then like at the gym, sometimes there's other people that want to learn, so we'll take them through a workout with us, like it's a full cycle. So that's what I've been doing. Just out of the goodness of my heart. I don't charge for anything, because they'll come up and they'll say, I'll pay you, and they say, no, 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 I don't want to do that. I feel good when I'm helping someone, and they're actually doing what I'm telling them to do. So I like sharing what I've learned. I'm not greedy. I like them to look good too. So, but yeah, so we've been doing that. When someone comes up, it's like, okay, we'll just take you through a training cycle with us. And that way they can, you know, go and train properly. Because I cringe when I see them training and it's like, man, he's gonna hurt himself or she's gonna hurt herself, And I don't want them to hurt themselves. So, but I like it when they come up to me and say, "Do you think that you can show me this or whatever?" And so that's what we've been doing. It's fun actually. I've enjoyed it, and I kind of tell them along the way how I eat, and then almost always they'll say, "Can you send me how you eat?" And then I send it to them, and it's like, "Well, this is a little bit. I'll try it, just a partial part of it." I said, "Yeah, whatever you can take what you can from it. I'm not saying that that's what you should do, but take what you can because it works for me. It might not work for you. So, but yeah, that's what we've been doing. Nothing much. Same old.
Please tell me that you enjoyed the holidays a little bit, though, food wise.
Uh, yes, we actually fried it for Thanksgiving. We fried the turkey.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! I mean, we have that indoor turkey fryer because my oven broke a couple years ago, so I ended up buying one of those indoor. Man, they're the greatest thing. But the only thing is, you cannot have more than 13 pounds in that fryer. Anything bigger, you have to fry it outside. But my son, who doesn't like turkey, he loved that. But I brined it first and everything. So I ate. Yeah, I ate that. I'm more of a solid food kind of person. I don't care that much for desserts, and I'm really craving for it. But yeah, I ate a, um, a little bit of cheesecake. Yeah, just to try it because I'm lactose intolerant. But they wanted to try. It was Costco. The cheesecake was Costco's. I didn't make cheesecake. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed the holidays. I didn't for Christmas though. I didn't put a tree up, it was just too much work. I mean, not that I have anything going on.
I was just gonna say, be like, aren't you retired? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it seems that the days go by so fast for us because we wake up, I go to my cardio, make breakfast, and it's time for lunch, and then we go to the gym, come back, it's dark. Yeah, and so what I did was we have a big wreath. I just put it on the door for Christmas, and that's all short and like the packages. We have a big one of those big artificial silk trees. So I put the packages under the silk tree. And then I was looking for lights to put them around, right? But so I went downstairs and I'm like, there's boxes. It's like, oh God, that's a lot of work to take those boxes down. So no lights, no lights for Christmas. And that was it. You, the family comes, we eat, the presents are open, and it's over. It's time for 2022 again. So that's why it's like, nah, I'm not gonna put a tree up. Did you guys put a tree up?
Yeah, we have a tree up. We didn't put any ornaments on this year because that would be too much hard work, apparently.
See?
But yeah. Yeah, so we put our tree up, and then yeah, we literally, yeah, we don't even do now that, I mean, the youngest of us is 24 now, so literally yeah, we don't even do presents anymore. Where it's just we just get checks really. That's our Christmas friend for at least from our parents, and from our aunts and uncles we get at least some gifts there. But yep, I burned the credit card myself, getting all my presents because I have a very large extended family. I had to buy like 15 different presents for 15 different people, so
Did
that
you
was
actually go to
was
the
a lot of fun.
stores or did you go to
No, I
Amazon
just
and
Amazoned it and got it online. I mean, a lot of my stuff was I got a lot of jerseys for my brothers. They're I got, yeah, I got two jerseys for my brothers, and then I got, a lot of other stuff. Like I got autographed posters for one of my aunts who's a big Humphrey Bogart fan. I got her autographed Humphrey Bogart poster, and then I got yeah, I got some gag gifts. Like my uncle is a huge Nebraska football fan, but he hates the quarterback, so I got him an autographed poster of the quarterback just as like a gag gift to be like, yeah, you really hate him, so here's an autographed poster of him. So he thought that was at least funny, but yeah, just did all that, and then yeah, and I get movie posters for all my other family members too. So yeah, it was expensive, but hey, I am one of those people that it doesn't matter. I'll buy you gifts and stuff like that for the holidays. But do you eat anything special for like Christmas? Because for me, like our family, we do crabs, which is not something that's really normally traditional, like a Thanksgiving or like a Christmas Eve food. But yeah, every year we do crabs.
no, we just a traditional Christmas turkey, ham. Of course, I make like dishes from the island. A lot of like lumpia and potato salad. Even though we have mashed potatoes, stuffing. We have all that. Yeah, and egg rolls, um, shrimp patties, and chicken Calaguan. So it's like a full
I should have saved this
buffet.
conversation for the end because I'm already drooling right now, just even thinking about all this
We
stuff.
always,
So.
you notice we always talk about food. Every time we're in your podcast, we're talking about food.
Well, I mean, that's what, just like how I've asked my guests before. It's like some of these guests that I have on, they watch like the Food Network constantly during their preps, and I'm just like, why are you torturing yourself like this? But then I get it because it's like it's like stuff that you can't have, so then you just want to watch it. Then really, yeah.
I used to do that
Mhm.
the first couple of years when I started bodybuilding. We'd watch the Food Channel all the time. The thing is, I try to make some of the stuff that that I see, and me, I make and I don't eat. But yeah, um, I like reading recipes, looking at recipes online all the time. And then what I do is I look in and make it my own. I look at the recipe and then I tweak it and make it my own. And like there's I told you I like to make curries and stuff, but I don't eat it. I make it for my husband. So I try to look at different kinds of curry recipes, and then he enjoys it. So hey, as long as he enjoys it and he's eating it, more power to.
Well, please tell me that you're at least finding someone to eat the food that you cook, and you're not just like eating it, or you're not just making it, looking at it, and then throwing it away.
Oh no, no, the family enjoys it because they like it. I always tell them being creative again. Sometimes I'm just sitting at the couch, um, looking at stuff to buy, and I don't need to buy anything because I'm bored after training. You just sit there, and so I jump up and I say, I'm going to go and do something creative in the kitchen, just to do something. Yeah, but they enjoy it, So as long as I'm cooking it and they're eating it, I don't mind. And I always make sure that I have all the ingredients on in the pantry. So whatever's in the pantry, I try to make it work, um, together. Most of the time, 99% of the time, it comes out pretty good. So the 1% that it doesn't come out, I store it away without letting them know that I did. I think everybody does that, right? When they cook something and it doesn't turn out right, they just throw it away without letting anybody know that they did that because it's a waste.
That's why you got to be like me, and you got to make like PB and J's and like mac and cheese. I mean, if you do go wrong on that, it's not throwawayable, really. I mean, I haven't.
I don't know because some people can't even boil water, man.
Well, so my little brother, when he was younger, he decided to put one of those uh, plastic containers in the microwave with his mac and cheese, and then it melted the plastic container on the mac and cheese. So he found a way to mess it up. I'll give him that. And then our fire alarm went off. So yeah, with boiling water, yeah, I will agree. I remember my home ec class, there were one or two kids, yeah, that didn't even weren't
Yeah,
even
it's
able to
like
do that. So
how can you mess that up? Just boil the freaking water. Yeah, but what have you been up to?
I mean,
Other
yeah,
than
like,
the new job.
yeah, I got a new job for everyone out there who I haven't really talked about that much on the podcast. Yeah, and then I've been doing that for about 3 months, and then yeah, still working out whenever I can, and just with this whole new schedule. So now I work now 11 to 7, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So it's nice hours for me where I get to sleep in a little bit. But yeah, I got the week off right now as we're talking, and yeah, so I've just been catching up on a lot of the podcasts and still been doing the podcast stuff. I have a home that I'm looking, or I'm not a home. It's a townhome that I'm looking to rent out with a couple of friends of mine. By usually, I think around like the springtime is when we're thinking about it, just because with Omicron, we don't want to go out and do it right now. But so we're thinking probably around like March, April-ish. So then I'll be out of the parents' house again. I had to move back into my parents' house for COVID, just because I didn't want to live because like my roommates were one of those roommates where like they went out still like every
Yeah,
day.
there's
So
better.
yeah. So I was just like, yeah, I'll just go back to my parents where they don't go out except to get like, well, they'll go out tonight just to get the pizza that we get, because every Friday night is pizza night at the Johnson household. So they'll go get the pizza man or their Papa John's or whatever they're getting tonight. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's that.
you don't get it delivered.
No, no, no. My dad wants to get out. So like they're going to see Air Supply tomorrow night, a
Oh, they
concert.
are.
Yeah, so they're gonna go do that, and then next weekend, me and my dad are gonna go to both of our alma maters, Minnesota State Mankato, the #1 hockey team in the nation for college hockey. We're gonna go see one of their games next weekend. So we're going out and doing stuff still, but like yeah, they take it a little bit more seriously because I'm not gonna lie, like my parents are both kind of obese, so like they're in that category where they're gonna be affected by it pretty good if it happens. So yeah, but it's other than that, yeah, just sticking to it, doing the podcast. I mean, I had the 500th one published, which was a big deal for me because I would have never imagined in a million years that I would ever got to 500. I mean, that would have been one of those things where I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna get that. 3.5 years later, we're at it now.
Wow,
So
congratulations.
yeah, yeah, it's 761 total when you count my other podcasts that I have too. So ugh, that's a lot of podcasts.
There's a
Good
lot of
God.
work.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wish one of these days I'm gonna publish one of these things where it's like it shows all the editing that I have to do just for every individual episode. I've been thinking about doing that, but then it's like I have to get a camera then that would like show me doing the edit. So one of these days I'm gonna have to show it because yeah, I do have people that are like talking to me. They're like, why don't you just release these things the way they are? And I was like, because you can watch my first 5 podcasts if you want to see what it's like just releasing these things without any editing, and you'll see how bad those things turned out. So yeah, but yeah, just same old right now, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if you look at it, same old is pretty good,
Yeah.
versus that, yeah, a lot of people are having a lot of issues and stuff,
Hmm.
So we're in a good place, you, me, we're in a good place,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't have it the way we have it, So I always count my
Hmm.
blessings that, yeah, we're doing pretty good,
Yeah.
Family's doing pretty good, and we're not like some of these people. I mean, I just feel so bad for them, There's
Hmm.
a lot of stuff happening. And some of these people are so innocent,
Yeah.
and they end up dying, and
Mhm.
yeah, and this COVID stuff is not helping any, But we
Oh, well,
lost a friend of ours.
I
So
was gonna say I did have like 2 weeks ago a great aunt of mine died of COVID, but
yeah.
she was like 88, but like
Hmm.
it was, and then her husband, who's a World War II vet, I think he's like 95 or something like that. Like
Hmm.
he's in hospice right now with COVID too right now, so we're waiting for both of them because they wanted to have a funeral together. So just like a joint funeral, so we're waiting for that. But yeah, so it's still not a joke, everyone. I mean, it's like I had it before, and it was like the flu for me, but I was vaxxed and all that other stuff. So oh, you just said that did you just get your booster yesterday?
Yeah, we got our booster.
You don't have any side effects or anything like
No,
that today?
no, not even the first and second. I never had any. My husband had some side effects. He had
Oh,
body aches, but I didn't get any side effects. I was fine.
I have never had the chills worse in my entire life than after I got my second one.
Really?
I didn't
Yeah.
sleep. I didn't sleep the whole night. Like I was absolutely freezing. I went downstairs. I wrapped myself in like 5 blankets, and I was still like frozen the whole rest of the day. And then I woke up the next morning and I was completely fine. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
like,
because he was affected. It was just like you.
yeah.
He felt body aches.
Well, like I wasn't
And
sick at all. Like I felt perfectly
yeah,
fine, except I was just freezing cold, and I had just like the
yeah,
chills. Yeah.
yeah. But no, you haven't gotten your booster. Was that just the?
That was my second
Um,
shot. My booster is in like 2 months because I got my second shot in
yeah, you gotta.
September.
Yeah,
So
you have
yeah.
to wait. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, I didn't have any. I mean, it was sore right at the spot where they shot me, but it's sore. But not. No, I don't have any. Some people get it where they actually feel some stuff, But no, this is the third one, and I was it in the news the other day that there might be a fourth one. I
Yeah,
think
that's what they're
I think that's
saying
I
now.
think
Who
that's where
knows?
I think that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Where it's like, come on now, I don't want to get a shot. Well, and plus, I can still remember, so it just makes me laugh. Just getting the flu shot every year and being like, okay, I can't train arms that day then because I don't want to train arms
Yeah,
right after I get my flu shot. So I'd either get it done the day before or I'd get it done the morning of just in case, and then I'd
yeah.
go and get my shot. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine on Monday, the flu
yeah.
shot, because I was supposed to get it the other day, the same day as the booster.
Mhm.
Or yeah, I was supposed to get it the same day as the booster yesterday. And what happened was the VA insurance thing again, and I'm like, come on now, you'd think that you'd get it under control, that this VA stuff, it it's supposed to be free, and they said, well, you can still get it for $45. I said, I said, no, I'll just wait until you guys straighten out the VA stuff. 40, yeah, just give me $45. You can get it. Why? It's like, why would I pay you to poke me?
I don't get why the VA like you'd think that all of the government's resources should first go to the VA first of all. Like how there's anything going wrong in the VA is always beyond me
I,
because that if I was president, that would be the very first thing I would do is I'd be like the VA should never have anything going wrong with it ever.
hey, I went to they hired out, contract out different clinics and stuff. So I went twice. I went for a mammogram, and twice they turned me away because the first time they never got the paperwork right. And then the second time I went, this was just Monday, they said that the paperwork that I got is not the order. It's an authorization, but not the order. The order is something that's signed by the doctor. And so this time the VA is not the one that did mess up, but what happened was they're not talking to each other. So that was twice. So I just told the lady, I said, I'm very disappointed. I said, I'll come back again. So I'm supposed to go back for the third. This is the third mammogram I'm going to get that I didn't get. So, I mean, I just go with the flow. I didn't get upset with the people in the desk because it's really not their fault. They're just going by the rules. But man, get your stuff together.
That's when you
'Cause
got to go sleeveless next time and just intimidate them.
yeah, I just
I'm
no,
very upset right now. I just want to let you know. Just pound your fist on their desk a couple times. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I try not. See, my husband, he always tells me, no, just don't get mad. The Try not to, because my temper is kind of really bad. If you push me to the limit. But so I was very, very nice. But I did send an email back to the VA and I told them how disappointed I was.
Mhm.
And I, I was very nice, but I was still very blunt on that email. But yeah, so she calls me back right away when I at the gym, and she said, "I'm so sorry this happened." I said, "Well, just make sure." She goes, "Can I give you another appointment?" I said, "Make sure that when you give me my appointment, that when I go there, I actually get it done." Because even though it's not far away, it's only like what 7 minutes away. Still, you take time away from your schedule to go there and sit down, wait and wait. That's what it is. You sit down and wait, and then when you get your turn, they don't see you. So that's the part that gets me upset. So the next time, then I'd be really, really mad. This time, I think my husband will be the one that goes in there. But he's usually the guy that's very calm and cool. But this time because he said, I'm going to write a congressional, because he does that. When things don't go right, he writes a congressional. So almost always it works, those congressionals that people, when you complain to your congressman, they do work. Yeah, they do work. So people,
Some of them
yeah.
work.
Uh, yeah, for the most part, the ones that because I've had issues with my pay when I was, because I was double dipping when I was in the army, and then had agriculture. So I had issues with the pay in my retirement, and so my husband went and did the congressional letters and stuff like that. And then, man, you get a call right away, or you get a so. I guess it just depends. You're right. Some of them work, and some of them
Like if I write my
don't.
congressman saying, "Hey, can I get $1,000?" I don't know if that's going to work for me.
No, 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 not, no, no. I don't think so. But sometimes you just have to try.
Yeah.
Even around here in Virginia, the roads and stuff, like the right down the street here, the uh, the river. Someone, I guess, smashed into the railing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so my husband complained about that. Wrote to our whoever council member here, and they fixed it. They actually did something. Came and they fixed the railing.
Oh, so
So yeah,
your husband's one of those guys that like that writes all the letters and they're like, "Oh, this guy again writing another letter
yeah.
to us."
Hey, whatever works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then when they do something right, he sends them a back letter and he thanks them and stuff for it. So yeah, So they do something and then you thank them, um, after they've done whatever they're supposed to do because they work for us.
Mhm. Yeah.
These the officials work for us, and if you don't tell them what your problem is, they're not going to fix anything.
It still
You know?
surprises me to this day that, like, even though people have lived in Minnesota their entire lives, the first day that we get significant snowfall, there are, like, a ton of crashes outside. Like, people just forget how to drive in the snow,
Yeah,
like they haven't done it before. So yeah, they'll even be like, I'm not gonna lie. Even my first time when there was a big blizzard like 2 months ago, I almost got into like 3 crashes just driving to my 5 minutes to work, really, basically, and that's just because you think 20 miles an hour is slow enough on a 40, and then you try to stop, and then all of a sudden you're sliding like an extra 5 feet. But yeah, it's not a joke out there, especially with this kind of weather. But so does it normally get this cold in Virginia? Because like I said before, like I did not predict if you would have asked me about Virginia, I would have not predicted that it's a cold state at all.
no, the norm is about for this time of year is about 30, 34, 30 or 40. So today is especially cold. So yeah, and it's going to get warmer. I think it's like tomorrow, back up to the 40s. So about about 35, 40 degrees is about the norm here, and this time of the year, But to me, that's cold.
Oh wow, we're at 9 degrees here for me.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at Tuesday, a high of 1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So do you double? You wear a big thick jacket, and then on top
Not
of that,
honestly, like, I only walk to my car and then out of my car, so I honestly don't wear. Yeah, I just wear like
no,
this, really, just this, yeah, that's about it. I mean, and
you're so used to it.
the weird thing is for my job, I do sometimes help unload trucks when they come into the warehouse and stuff like that, so, like, I gotta be close to a thing. We have a heater by me, though, but, like, the first day that it really got cold, like, the first day it was, like, I think it was, like, -5 degrees outside, and my, they make you wear steel-toed boots, but my steel toes had a couple holes in them, so my feet were just absolutely freezing, so I wrapped duct tape around the boots so that they wouldn't be
Oh,
and then one of my bosses looked at me and she's like, "You just look like an effing idiot." Like, she told me like that, and then she's like, "So, here," she had, like, 3 extra pairs of boots from, like, deliveries that didn't get shipped out, so then she gave me an extra pair, but, like, yeah, those are the boots that I've been wearing since I was at UPS, so I've had those boots for, like, 5 years, basically,
uh-huh.
but
They're
yeah.
broken in. They're
Yeah, that
broken in literally.
yeah, well, and then they
They're
give you,
broken.
like I think they give you, like, $75 a year too to go and buy your boots at, like, some
Uh-huh.
like, REI or someplace like that, so I gotta definitely go take them up on that, but yeah, the cold is I mean, like, last night, even going out to get something to eat, like, at about, like, 11 o'clock, because I just went to the gas station just to get, like, some corn it's like a bag of corn nuts or something like that, like, I was just craving some corn nuts, so I went out, and it was just even one of those where it's just, like, just breathing just hurts because it was, like I think it was, like, -5, but then it felt like it was, like,
Oh,
-15, so, like, even breathing in and out, like, it gets cold, like, your throat gets
yes,
cold and stuff, so,
that
yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts. I don't like it. So I can't wait for the springtime. I can't wait for the springtime.
Why are you still in Virginia then? Why don't you go back to Florida?
So, I mean, for the most part, we really, really like it here.
Mhm.
But, since the kids are here,
Why don't you just
so
become snowbirds?
yeah, well, we're thinking of doing that.
Yeah.
So right now the market is really bad.
Mhm.
I mean, it's good for sellers,
Yeah.
but for buyers, it's not a buyer's market. So we're gonna wait and see because there'll come a time when they'll have something for sale again. And the interest rates they're changing.
Mhm.
So that's what we're planning on doing. We're gonna find a place down in Florida and then snowbird it
Yeah.
and just keep this house here because we really love this house. You know, um, the location, everything about this house. The only part that's starting to bother me is the stairs. I think the stairs bothers everybody.
Are you gonna have to
But
move all
yeah.
your are you gonna have to move all your gym equipment down there with you then
Oh
every winter?
no, we've already decided that if we don't plan on selling this, but if we ever do, the gyms stay.
Hey, that's a bonus then, you've already upped the property value then, I don't know how
Yeah,
much, but by a lot, yeah.
yeah, because I mean that it's not cheap.
I
The
know, and
gym equipment.
you toured the gym, you showed me the gym before, and it's not like your average, like, gym like I got downstairs, which is, like, 3
No,
machines, really, it's a
it has
legit
everything you
setup.
need. Yeah, I mean, for leg day, I don't have to go anywhere for leg day. I have everything here for leg day. I
Mhm.
mean, everything that I need, for leg day. So, yeah, I mean, I don't really need to go anywhere. Like I said, the only reason why we go somewhere is just to see people, because we stay here all day,
Yeah.
and it's kind of nice to get out once in a while. But when it starts to get really bad, the weather, like the other day, I trained downstairs, and I'm fine with it. And then if God forbid another variant happens again with this COVID stuff, I think this is it. I'm just gonna stay downstairs and not go anywhere, you know,
Mhm.
because I don't need to go anywhere and still have the food delivered here again. You know, like Costco was that time when it closed, everything closed down. I just had Costco deliver, and we were good. I didn't. God, I stayed home for months. My husband's the one that goes to the store, but
Just build a chicken coop in the back too that you can just have your own chickens. Then
I
you don't
know.
have to worry
Same.
about it
I mean,
then.
yeah, because in the back, I mean,
Yeah.
you can do the chicken coop,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of space in the back for all these like the venison that goes right at the back.
Well, like I
They
told
shoot
you
the
before,
venison.
early in COVID, the neighbor that lives literally right behind us, and we live in the suburbs, so it's rare, but he's a huge hunter, so he had like 3 refrigerators full of venison. And whenever we want
Yeah,
some, we just go over and say, "Hey, can we have some?" And they just throw us
yeah.
just a handful of it. Yeah.
But I bet venison burgers are good. I've never.
I've never had a venison burger before though. I just eat it raw really, or not raw, but like it's cooked and stuff like that. But like I've never put on a burger because like my grandpa ran his own Super Value store, so he would make his own venison though, because like the hunters would come in and they do it. It was just a small town in southern Minnesota, and so it would be like it looked like a salami, basically like a big
Yeah,
salami, but it was all full of venison. And God, that stuff was so good. Yeah.
yeah. I bet because I was thinking, a venison burger would be really good.
Hmm.
But then you have to grind everything and stuff.
Have you ever had a buffalo burger before?
Yeah.
I had one for the first time December 23rd because I got the day off from work, and me and my parent we did one of those escape rooms. My family did it.
Uh-huh.
We thought it'd be fun, and we got out of there in time, barely, but hey, we got it done. And then afterwards we went to go get buffalo burgers. I never had a buffalo burger before, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to try different things. The only thing the thing that I hate the most was that it's okay, African American people eat, and I tried it because my roommate or my we were in the army,
Mhm.
and so she told me, she goes, "You better not eat that because you're not gonna like it." And I said, "No, I'll try anything. I'll try. It's your food." And I ate it. God, what is it? It's the intestines of the pork.
Ugh, yeah.
What is it
I
called?
don't know, but
Chitlings. So it was at the NCO club, and so she told me, she warned me. She goes, "Maria, you're not gonna like it." I said, "I'll eat it because you're eating it." I said, "That's what you're ordering." So I'm gonna order that. Man, when that stuff touched my mouth, oh God. I mean, I've never eaten shit, but if I've never eaten shit, but if that's how shit tastes like, oh my
I
God.
I had a Colombian roommate for a semester in college, and I learned that the hard way as well. That people of different cultures, you might want to just taste test some of their food first before you really go dig full into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hate
yeah,
salsa, but I mean, I'll have cuz I had a Mexican American guest on yesterday that I talked to, and she loves the tacos, and with my tacos it's just meat and cheese. Don't give me any damn salsa on it cuz salsa might that Norwegianness in me, I mean, it's going to expel itself out of there and I'll lose 10 pounds overnight basically. So
yeah.
if I ever want to do a cleanse, then I'll just eat a bunch of salsa, but yeah, other than that, ugh.
Yeah, what is it, just the taste or the texture or is it the spice?
I think it's all of it really really for me
Yeah.
like the taste like yeah I'm a very picky eater. I'm not gonna lie. Where like I'm also a plain Jane when it comes to a lot of things. Where like if I have a hamburger, it's just gonna have ketchup on it. If I have pizza, it's just gonna be cheese pizza. If I have nothing spectacular with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just super
Yeah.
plain. Like I've said, I'm the easiest order you'll ever do if you work in any of the food industries. Really, where it's like I'm gonna be the guy that you love the most because it's just you just want a
Thank
bun with meat. Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, so yeah.
So you're not very
I'm
you
not
don't
yeah.
you don't go and want to try all these other stuff.
Well,
You're
I'll
not
try
you're
it
not
and stuff like
adventurous.
that, but.
But yeah, 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 no. But for the most part, I kind of like all types of food.
Mhm.
But that was the worst.
I tried sushi
Um,
last year and I threw up because I
oh
hated it.
no,
Oh,
yeah. Well, my husband doesn't like sushi either, but I love
yeah.
sushi. That raw, and I like it. The sashimi, the raw,
Mhm.
yeah, But I have to have hot mustard with it,
Oh, yeah. Well, because
and I
like
have to
my
use a chopstick when I'm eating it.
so I'd
'Cause-
never tried before, and one of my friends was like, "So, like, what do you think you'd like?" And I was like, "Well, I like chicken." And then she's like, "We'll get shrimp because it's the chicken of the sea and stuff like that." So I was like,
Oh no.
"Fine, shrimp roll." She filmed me eating it, and I waited until I got into the bathroom to go throw up. But like, yeah, that was bad. For me, it's got to be cooked. I'm sorry with
Hmm.
food, it's got to be cooked. Like, I don't get how that's yeah.
So if you go to um, sushi restaurant,
Mhm.
then when you say you're gonna order a sushi, it's a California roll, right? That's what you
something
because
like
it's
that.
just
Yeah.
yeah, it's just avocado and cucumber and
Oh, if
rice.
I'm going to a sushi restaurant, I'll just say, "Yep, I'll have a Diet Coke." And that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because my husband doesn't like, he'll eat the avocado roll,
Mhm.
but he will not eat anything like you, like the raw stuff, and it's like, "That's okay, that's more for me." I
Oh,
love
well,
that
I'm
stuff.
well. Luckily, I mean, unless it was Chinese, then I'd be like, just give me like 100 fortune cookies, then that'll be my food. Then I'll just eat all the fortune cookies in the Diet Pepsi, then really, or Diet
So
Coke
you
or
don't
whatever I'm
like
having.
Chinese
So
either? You don't like
yeah,
Chinese
no,
food
I know
either?
I like rice and stuff like that. Like obviously, like literally, because like the Chinese place that I have right next to me, they always give you just like a huge thing of rice, just with whatever you order, and I'll eat that, just the white rice. Like I enjoy that, but yeah, with Chinese, yeah, yeah, not really, yeah. So.
Oh, wow, I love Chinese food. I love all kinds of food.
Again, I wasn't exposed to it that much of as a kid though, because this is Minnesota, so it's like a lot of like Scandinavian stuff. Like we have our left son, our lutefisk, which is I hate lutefisk though, but that's the fish basically, but it's horrible. Like I love fish, but the lutefisk, the way that they do it, like they put stuff in it, like inside the fish.
Uh-huh.
Ugh.
And they bake it?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes they do, but it's a Norwegian tradition. And then, but lefse is good because lefse is like bread that they put like cinnamon sugar inside of it, which is really really good. But it's like it's not even like bread. It's kind of like it's like a tortilla kind of thing. But it's yeah, that's good. But any of the Norwegians out here listening to it, you can correct me. But again, we do the American version of less than Lutefisk. It's probably cooked different in the homeland. Which is, by the way, I am trying to get tickets to go visit Norway sometime soon, probably when things open up a little bit more, because I've always wanted, like, my family has lived in a certain village for like over 1,000 years, so I've wanted to go to that village then and just be like visit the homeland and stuff like that and see what that's all. One of my family members apparently runs a hotel there, so at least hopefully I'd have free board then for the
Oh,
time that I
well,
was there.
yeah,
So
well, then they should look forward to that.
yeah. Well, and I've always want to see the fjords too and stuff like that, because those are some of the most beautiful things on the planet. Just
Mhm.
I've always wanted to go there. So yep,
Yeah,
we'll
well,
see.
hopefully when COVID, kinda subsides.
Yep, we'll see.
I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it'll happen.
God knows, yeah. Who knows? I can remember when I first had you on, when it was like we were like a month into this thing. We were talking about
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's gonna be over sometime soon. Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah.
and we're still in it,
Oh, I
but,
remember I had a doctor on the first week that it was, because she was also a figure competitor, but she was also a doctor, and she's like, "Yeah, I'd say give it like 2 more weeks, and then it should be under control, and we should be fine." And then I still every like couple of months I'll send her a message, be like, "Still another 2 weeks on." And then she's like, "Oh, Ryan, stop." And I'm just like, "Yes."
so you just have to go with the flow, you know?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't help it.
How do you think you'd be dealing with this if you weren't retired?
Oh god, if I wasn't retired, at work, it's probably not gonna be so good
Co-
because you everyone has to have mandatory shots and stuff like
Yep.
that, which I'm military, to me, just do it. I mean, a lot of people are getting out because they don't want to get their shots because of religious reasons and stuff like that. But it's kind of like the flu shot; it's mandatory. You just
Yeah.
do it. But no, I don't think I'm so glad I'm retired and I have COVID and I mean, I don't have COVID, but I'm home. I don't have to go and worry about all those other people.
Yeah.
I'm going to be exposed to them and stuff.
Well, one of my buddies who was in the Marines, he said like, isn't it like when you first sign up, like they have you just basically go through a line of shots for like one day,
Yeah,
basically, where it's like,
yeah.
yeah, you go do that, but you won't get a shot for something else. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the way I see it, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just go ahead and just get it over with, you know, because like I said, the flu shot is mandatory. You got to go get the flu shot. So just do it, you know. You sign up for the military, you know, and
Yeah.
if it's an order, then you do it. But hey, whatever, if they have issues where they can't do it, i.e., the doctors gave them some kind of excuse
Yep.
or whatever that they're not supposed to take it, you're pregnant, and I can understand
Yep.
that. But if it's just I'm not going to do it because I feel like I don't have to do it, you know. You're in the military.
Mhm.
You go and do what you're supposed to do, you know. So
I had one guest who was stationed in Hawaii during this whole thing, and they couldn't even leave the base for a full year because, well, first of all, Hawaii had some of the strictest, like locked early on. So literally, they're just like, because and they were gonna make their pro debut. So luckily, they just worked out for like a full year and got really, really in
yeah,
better shape than they ever could have,
yeah,
because they're like,
yeah.
I had no time to do anything else, or I had nothing else to do really other than that. So like, they just worked out a lot. So I was like, I guess there's a positive in that. But yeah, they absolutely hated it. But I think they're in Texas now, so at least that's a little bit. I think they can go out and do more things now. But Yeah, it's just it's amazing what these last 2 years have been, and I mean, I
Yeah,
would have
and
never guessed it in a million years.
Hawaii's gotten even more stricter because
Mm,
I heard in the news that now to enter Hawaii you have to have all your shots. You have to have the shots and or proof of you didn't have any
yeah,
COVID within 2 days of your arriving there. Or yeah, that just happened. I'm like, are you kidding me? Hawaii and Europe just opened it. They're
yeah.
Europe now. You don't have to put a mask on or whatever. It's open. Yeah, the
Well, like,
prime
most of the
minister opened it.
Scandinavian countries never even had a mask mandate in the first place, like Sweden, who's just like, "Yeah, just let
Yeah,
everyone get it, and we'll see what happens," and then I'm not gonna say that it worked for them, but it did kind of end up working for them in the long run, but I'm not
yeah,
recommending every country do that, but you think, like, Hawaii with, like, all the islands that they have on there that, like, you'd just be like, "Yeah, what, some islands only have, like, a couple people on them." You think they'd be like, "Who cares, really?"
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I just think a lot of it, and I don't like to talk politics, but I think a lot of it has to do with who's in charge.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, um,
Mhm.
yeah, you just have to go with whoever's in charge. But yeah, that's their policy. But it makes it hard for those people who are traveling to Hawaii. You know, um, their their plans have changed. Maybe because a lot of them maybe they don't want to get the shots.
Yeah.
You know, but yet they want to go to Hawaii and um, yeah, I think it'll work out in the end. That's the way I
When
see
the
it.
run of this podcast eventually does reach its end, which it will eventually, it might be 10 years, might be 20 years, it might be a year, who knows? Who knows with how things are going right now, but I will just post a really long political podcast just to guarantee that I get, like, canceled then, basically, then, or, like, to guarantee that, like, no one ever wants to listen to this. So that's my going out thing, where I'm just going to finally post every opinion that I've ever had about anything, really, then. So it's waiting, everyone. So yeah, I don't yeah, politics with me, it's always a sucker's game for me too, where it's just like, yeah, I mean, politicians, let's be honest, those people are the most soulless people on the planet,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
don't believe. I've always
yeah,
being in the military, you can attest to that too. Where I've always just thought, like, if only all the politicians fought all the wars, then and
yeah.
just did all that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, and the sad thing about it is now a lot of the military leaders are going political too. It's like just stand your ground, just don't put politics into play with how you make how you run your company or battalion or whatever. But no, everyone's they have to be politically correct now. You know, I'm like, wow, way back when we didn't have to deal with this kind of stuff. If
Yep.
you're told to do something, you do it. Now it's like you have to watch what you say. You have to watch how you wipe the board. Instead of switching like this. Your butt will be swinging left and right. You have to wash. Do you know that? You have to wash the blackboard down. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we are told that EO was an EO, one of our EO classes. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Like, come on now. And then you can't cuss and stuff. And like, well,
Oh,
I'm glad I'm out
that's why you
now.
got to work in a warehouse where I can say the F word 10 times a minute and they don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like before. It's funny because before I would never say the F word. Way back when. Now I'm like, now it's like I have a mouth like a sailor's mouth because
Oh, like 3 years ago at UPS, I told my boss, literally, "Go F yourself," one time because he was riding me really hard one time, and I just got a slap on the wrist. I didn't even get punished or anything. Yeah.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
but now in the military, you say something and they rush to their congressman.
Mhm.
And so you can't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor drill sergeants, they yeah,
Oh, it must not even be fun to be a drill sergeant anymore.
yeah, because before,
Yeah.
they just say whatever. Now you can't. You have to be politically correct, or else they'll report you.
I've always said singers should go to drill instructors to see how they maintain that voice from yelling all the time. They gotta have
Yeah,
some vocal lessons that they gotta do because that's yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, if there's ever a time to join a military, join it now because you don't have to get yelled at as much during during your basic training,
yeah,
really. You just
yeah.
yeah.
But now though, I think they're having hard time trying to recruit
Yeah.
people, from what I understand.
Well, now that like a third of people my age are severely obese too, that doesn't help the problem that much at all either. So
Yeah, so it's like, wow, I don't know if it's the same back in the island, back in Guam, because before in Guam, you didn't, it's so easy to recruit. You don't really
mhm.
have to go out and recruit. The people go to the recruiters. And yeah, now I don't know if it's the same way. I haven't checked with anybody back in the island. But before, they would just go to the recruiting station and the recruiters don't have to go out and, sell themselves. Yeah, the people go ahead and enlist.
Oh, Guam. So I knew that you were from there, but yeah, like my family member, that's the one that's in hospice right now. He was in Guam for parts of World War II. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a big
It's a lot of people. I mean, now it's a lot of people know more about the island, but
yeah.
before they didn't know about Guam. You
Oh, yeah,
know.
I just remember with the whole North Korean thing, everyone's like, "Oh, they can hit Guam now," and stuff like that, where we're just like I was like, "Guam." I'm not gonna lie, even I had to look up Guam and be like, "Oh, yeah," because I was like I knew it from, like, World War II, because like, I knew that that was a big thing in World War II, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, Guam," and then I get that in American Samoa and I get that in Samoa confused a lot right now.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
because that's where all the NFL players come from, where it's, like, all the big American Samoans that are just in the NFL now, yeah.
yeah. Well, Guam is the opposite. We're small people. The American Samoans are huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Guam are
You'd
like.
think that there'd be a lot of bodybuilders that are American Samoans then too, just because their body's naturally built for that then, but, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are going to football or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but
Are
you
you, like, the
know,
only Guam bodybuilder that you know of?
well, I think I'm the only Guamanian female bodybuilder, IBB pro. I mean, they have bodybuilding contests over there, but as a female pro, I'm the only IBB female pro woman bodybuilder over there. There's a male physique pro. I think he became a pro last was it last 2 years ago, but he's not really a Guamanian like Guam, like Chamorro, like me, an island person. Because um, I looked at his name and his face. He didn't look like he lives in Guam.
See a white guy that lives in Guam?
No, he's not a
No,
white
yeah,
guy. Yeah, they're not Howleys.
yeah.
That's
Oh, is
what they
that what they
call them.
call white people in Guam?
Yeah,
Howies?
yeah, Howleys. Yeah, Howleys. You know,
Yeah.
you can't say that now. It's not politically correct.
You can say it to me, I can take it.
Yeah, that's what we call Guam.
Wait, no, just wait, I'm gonna
Howleys.
write to your congressman now and say there's a
And,
podcast that
and
I have of Maria calling me a Howley, so, let's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Howley. And but people don't use it like a
Yeah,
derogatory thing when they call you, hey Holly. It's just hey Holly.
yeah.
Like in Guam, we call each other Brown. Hey Brown. That's what we call each other. We see them on the road. Hey Brown.
Good luck
You
doing
know.
that here.
Yeah, you can't do that here now. Which
Yeah.
is kind of ridiculous. You can't say what you feel anymore.
Mhm,
You have to watch everything you say. Like even the girl at the gym, she told me, or no, this is the commissary, the cashier. She said, I used to be able to joke and stuff like that.
mhm.
Now I have to watch how I joke. I said, yeah. I said, you can still joke with me, but she goes, yeah, I can't joke a lot now, not the way I used to. So, people are more like stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be open anymore, though, and like happy go lucky is gone.
I'm hoping eventually it comes back, but I have no hope. Well, I know my generation and how bat shit crazy most of us are in my generation, so I don't have any hope for the future, at least in that department. But you never know; something might happen where it all of a sudden it just flips things back to the way it was. But so
Well, they're hoping
who
to
knows?
switch that here in Virginia, with the new governor,
Hmm.
because that all that stuff that they're teaching in school, and he's trying to put a stop to that.
Hmm.
Those critical race theory, and I hate the part that they're our history. They're trying to do away with all that history, our history. That's the past.
Hmm.
All those old statues and stuff where they tear it all down, change the name of the schools and stuff because they don't like the way the name of the school is, and like, man, that's so
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, my high school is Jefferson High School, so I don't know if they're going to change that, after. But so I do have a card in that because on my grandfather's side, we were the Pilgrims from the late, like we traced our lineage back to then. But Roger Williams, the founder of Rhode Island, was a very staunch abolitionist. So I have that in my history where I tell people, I was like, hey, don't hate my history. One of my guys was an abolitionist, so
Yeah,
can't really
yeah.
have that. But yeah, so
But
who
just
knows?
to me, they just should just leave it alone.
Yeah.
That's history.
Hmm.
That's the past, and I hate it that everything now is supposedly racist. Everything you say is racist,
Hmm.
and it's like we're
Which is
making
funny.
it
Which is
racist.
funny because you're one of the minorities, and now they're saying what you're saying is
Yeah,
racist. When you're like, I'm a minority. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And like sometimes they'll say because my husband they'll say he's a racist, and he said, how
Look at
can you
my
be a
wife.
racist? My wife is she's brown.
Oh, and then they'll be like, and then they'll say something like, oh, you just married her out of pity or something. Like they always come up with something like that. If you ever say something like that too, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah,
really, come on, or they're
yeah.
like, you just married her just so that you could say that to people and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and I hate it. I hate also when people have these in their shirts. They say America was never good or was never great. I'm like, wow,
And I always
you.
tell them, well, then why
And
did
then,
your ancestors come here then?
yeah, yeah, and then like a lot, and there's not a lot, but some people hate the flag.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I hate. Wow, for
You
someone
and
that,
I realize how those people never do it in front of veterans though. Any of their flag
yeah,
smack and shit. Yeah. Yeah.
like I mean, every time I hear the, the when they play the national anthem, I get goosebumps.
Hmm.
Every it doesn't matter where I'm at. Even to think about it, I get the goosebumps because it means something to me.
Hmm.
But all these people that they just they don't care about it, and so that bothers me a lot, and
For
I shouldn't let those ignorant people get to me, but they do,
For me,
you know.
the only time with any of those that I get choked up is when in God Bless the USA when it goes,
Yeah,
I won't forget the men who died who gave that right to me.
yeah,
That's the one that
that's
always
my
gets me choked
that's
up. Yeah.
yeah, me too. That's my
Yeah.
favorite song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should. Um,
That
that
should honestly
song.
be the national anthem when you really think about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That they used to play that when they had these something called Twilight Tattoo here in the military. Every Wednesday in summertime, they have the army puts out a Twilight Tattoo. It's a
Mhm.
show where they
Yeah.
come out with all the marching band and everything, and they always play that
Mhm.
song at the end. And man, it always, yeah, it's so
That and
inspirational.
taps. Taps has always gotten me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But they played that song. I heard that Colin Powell's, what's it called, funeral. Which
Yeah.
funeral was it? His funeral?
It might
I
have been.
watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, it just like
Mhm.
it really touched my heart, and it's not because I'm been in the military, but we are
Just because
supposedly
you're an
there.
American. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But some people don't even want to fly their flags out
Yeah.
anymore. We still do, or we fly our flags and stuff like that, because I'm a proud patriot,
So
But some
so
people,
with Guam, are you all American citizens by birth?
yeah,
Yeah.
by birth,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're American
Yeah.
citizens. But now Guam has been invaded with all the other people that are not from Guam.
Yeah.
You go to the store in Guam, and behind the counter it's not a Guamanian. It's
Chinese.
someone, yeah, or from another island,
Yeah.
Filipinos, Palauans, so most of the time it's not actual Chamorros or Guamanian behind the counter, you know. It's other nationality.
I'm just gonna say this on the podcast in case anyone ever wants to know what my opinions are. Fuck the CCP. Let's be honest, the Chinese Communist Party. So, I mean, I know I'm not gonna get any sponsorship from them or for them or anything, and I'll probably get this podcast will probably get ruined for that. But fuck the Chinese Communist Party. Like they
Yeah.
started with COVID and everything like that. Like screw you guys. Like I hate you guys and stuff like that. So
And
I'm just putting that out there. Yeah.
from between you and me, and my husband and I talk about this. I think it was intentional.
Oh, of course it was.
They did this.
That's why they didn't stop it when it got unleashed. They had every opportunity to prevent it from
Yes.
even reaching any place else, and they didn't do it.
Hey, and did you hear that a couple of days ago in the news? Only one person caught the Omicron.
Yeah, yeah. Just like how they only had 10,000 deaths there in a country of 1.4 billion.
Yeah, yeah. I found that amusing. There was only one person that caught the
Well, I
Omicron.
feel bad for the people in Australia because I have a lot of Aussie guests on here, and some of them are like have been in lockdown literally this entire time. They just went back in, and Australia's had like I think it was like something like 2,000 deaths
Yeah,
throughout this entire pandemic. Like literally, there's been 15 other causes of deaths larger than COVID in Australia, and they're still like in full lockdown. So I feel bad for them because they're really struggling. But I'm glad that we didn't have that response where it was like shut down everything. Because if we would have done the Australian thing, I mean, we would have had half the population would be homeless right now.
yeah. It's sad. We should be like Europe right now.
Yeah.
Follow Europe.
Although
Open it
Europe
up.
does shut down every once in a while,
Yeah.
like there are countries there that have gone to lockdowns and stuff like that. There's certain countries that do it. I think where it's like, let's be honest, everyone's gonna get it eventually. Like let's be completely honest. It's just with the
Hmm.
vaccines and everything like that. It's hopefully it's not gonna affect you as much. But like if you are living in this bubble where you think that you're gonna like never get it, it's just like thinking that you're never gonna get the flu. Everyone gets the flu at least a couple dozen times in their life. So it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's inevitable.
Hmm.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I think. I mean, I hope I don't get it.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people that don't even know they probably have already got it,
Yeah.
and they were just asymptomatic, and they didn't even know. Yeah, that they
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, and I think about that too. It's like
Yeah.
maybe I have gotten it. I just didn't realize because um you know I have a very high pain tolerance,
Hmm.
so like my body would ache and all that stuff, and I'm always sneezing and coughing, and
I
my
was gonna say
allergies.
every time you come on, I think you have a cold or something like that because you're sneezing sometimes and
Yeah,
coughing. And I was like, oh, but that's like me too. Where like I just naturally have always been sneezing and cough. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe I've caught it. I just didn't have, I didn't get it bad, but maybe I had a little. I caught COVID, but I just didn't know because there are times when I'm actually like, coughing. But they said if I've never lost my taste or whatever, then but that's not the only symptom. So I don't know. I hope I don't get it, and then I hope I don't get it bad. Yeah. But anyway,
Well, this is a health and fitness podcast, so I'll ask you a couple health and fitness questions now as we get closer to wrapping things up. Now, I don't want the entire guest to be like, they didn't even discuss one thing about health and fitness in this damn thing. So, so you said that you
hey,
aren't doing.
I'm healthy and I'm fit.
Yeah, yeah, that's about it. Yeah, which believe me, like I do other podcasts where I don't even mention any of that type of stuff. So it's I can talk about really anything with you, but like you did mention, like you do your cardio early in the morning. Have you always been an early morning cardio person?
Yeah. Early in the morning is about 8 o'clock. That's early morning for me now that I'm retiring.
Oh, that's twilight for me. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always done it. But then um, when I do when I'm getting ready for a show where I'm prepping, I do it twice a day. It's depending on my conditioning. So I start off with in the morning, and then right after we work out, we train. Then I do another session of cardio. But yeah, I've always done that. And, I've always done it also with fasted
Mhm.
because some trainers say it doesn't really matter. Uh, it works for me. The fasted works for me. I feel better when I do. I don't know if it's a mental thing, but they say it doesn't matter when you do the cardio. So hey, um, The fasted works for me. You
Yeah.
know, but yeah, and then like um, I try to like to take my fat burners. If I'm taking fat burners right with that before I go and jump on that horse. They call it my horse.
I've never taken fat burners in my life, and I don't
Yeah.
know if I did. So, what do you recommend for someone? Because I was thinking about honestly maybe starting to take because I put on my 10 to 15 pounds of winter weight. Doing a little bit. I wanted to maybe lose it a little bit quicker than it should. What do you recommend then for fat
Well,
burners?
what I've been using is that Beverly International
Okay,
Keto 7 Keto Lean.
writing it down.
Yeah, yeah. I take that and I take that with the lean out
Hmm.
and some L-carnitine, and I take that right before. But the best thing is we all know that it's just a diet.
Yeah.
Even yeah, but I take it has that 7 Keto Lean has like it's all natural stuff. So hey, if it works and it's a mental thing and it works, and I'm telling myself that thing works,
Yep.
right?
Well, a lot of it is the placebo effect. Yeah, where you just
Yeah.
think, yeah,
So
the mind
just
is the
take
most powerful weapon that you got. Yeah.
yeah. So I take that the
Mhm.
7 Keto Lean. Yeah. So but that's about it for like right before I do my cardio, and then like for pre-workout, I make my own pre-workout drink. Yeah. So I take 6 grams of citrulline, and I take 5 grams of creatine,
Mhm.
and then 1 gram of beta aniline, and then yeah, take that with the BCAAs.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's my pre-workout. And then sometimes I'll put caffeine in it. I have some caffeine pills. Take caffeine pills with that. And then I found this thing called Turin because it's supposed to help with your mental focus. But
Mhm.
then they said that I read last night that Turin and the beta aniline they fight each other. So I'm glad I read about that. So you can still take the Turin, Taurine, take it after
Mhm.
versus taking it with the beta aniline. I'm like, wow, I'm glad I read up on that because
Mhm.
I was going to take it both together because I read that it was good also for muscle, for mass and stuff like that. But no, that's about it. I've been eating um, relatively still. I'm more relaxed in my eating,
Mhm.
but I still eat the basics, the chicken, the beef. Yesterday I had a little bit of nachos,
Oof.
but I didn't eat. I didn't. I'm not much for cheese. Uh, but I like the crunch. I'm always a crunch person. So, uh, um, I still I still eat pretty good. Off the off season. I mean, I
Well,
didn't get real big.
and you are kind of like the horse of a different changing color. Your hair is a different color even this time than it
Yeah,
was last time.
it's
Now it's
growing. I'm
now it's
growing
all
it.
now it's all black brownish. I can't really tell which exact color it is, but
It's brown
yeah,
with a little bit of highlights. That
yeah,
we're trying not to put any more highlights because we're
mhm,
trying to let it get healthy because I'm growing it.
yeah.
So the the guy that does my hair, he said, "Yeah, just grow it out. We won't put it. We'll color out the gray, and we won't make it. We won't highlight it until the next time I come in."
Why
So
don't you just go full white for your hair then? Get rid of
I
the gray.
I
Just go.
I want to, but
Yeah.
that's a process. You know, they have to bleach it all out, and then you have to sit in that beauty salon for a while. And so the reason why I'm growing my hair right now is if you have, I always shave it pretty much. It's so short. So this, I said, I'm gonna grow it, and then that way I don't have to go back to the salon, every 6 weeks because I was going for every 6 weeks to chop it off. So
Oh, I
now,
go like every 6 months too. So yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah. So when I chop it off or when I grow it, then I can just put a rubber band and go back with it. So at the gym, right now. This length drives me crazy because I always have a hat on now. You could just I hate it. I'm in that in between stage.
I haven't even gotten a haircut since COVID started. Like my uncle just comes over like every 4 or 5 months and just gives me a little haircut, and he just buzzes it up a little bit and just does his thing. So yeah, he's
Yeah,
not even a professional haircut or anything. He just does it, and then so yeah, it's I've saved like probably like $400 since the pandemic started on haircuts alone. So yeah,
yeah. Why
just
not?
there's
Like
that.
even me, I've saved money from not going as much as I normally do. And then like my nails, I've been doing my own manicure, pedicure. I mean, so I saved because I hate going and just sitting at that salon for an hour and a half. I hate that. I hate that wait. But I know I've saved money doing that. I've saved money all this year by not going and doing my shows. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Well, I remember you telling me you would still even get dressed up during the pandemic just to go and work out downstairs,
Oh
even though
yeah.
you weren't doing anything else. And I was like, "What are you doing that for?"
Yeah. Yeah. I still do that.
Yeah,
Put on go shower and
yeah.
go down. Hey, I go shower and just go
You
downstairs.
never know when guests are gonna show up. I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always I've always been like that because before I go to work, you take care of your
Yeah,
do your personal hygiene and stuff like
yeah.
that.
It's a mindset. Yeah.
Yeah, even to go to the grocery store, I don't just, nope. I have to shower, get changed, and fix myself before.
Yeah,
Like you said, it's a mindset.
yeah.
You know, you don't know if Tom Selleck is gonna be over there.
Oh, please! If I could have his mustache, God, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Wait, hey, Ryan, never met my husband, have you?
I've never met your husband. No.
Yeah, see this man.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. I've heard a lot about you. All good.
That's great. We were talking a little bit about you too. We're talking about writing to congressmen and stuff like that. And she's been talking about how you do a lot of that. That's awesome.
Old habits die hard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he was.
but especially about I heard people were like running off the street and stuff like that in Virginia, or they were hitting the railings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him you report the rail being hit,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
you're paying all these high taxes. They need to keep the roads fixed, right?
Well, here it's like I mean, we have entire people that work just during the winter, just doing the highways here. Because I'm all the way up in Minnesota, where I mean,
Oh
literally
God.
5 minutes after the snow starts falling, yeah, we already got the trucks out and everything. Yeah.
We get a couple inches of snow here. Everybody's paranoid. You guys get 2 feet up there. You don't care.
Oh, 2 feet up. I mean, I had probably throughout my 4 years of high school, I probably only had only about 4 or 5 days that we got off for snow days. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, listen. Nice meeting you.
Yeah. It's nice meeting you too. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's my training buddy.
Yeah.
It's funny, he used to train me, right?
Yeah.
When I first did my first bodybuilding show. So now it's the other way around.
That's a good visual to have because he's like a foot taller than you, basically. Then and
Yeah,
you're his
yeah,
little trainer. Yeah.
yeah. It's so funny now that because we walk into the gym, right, and then they look at me and say, "Oh, that's your trainer." I said, "No," and then my husband goes, "No, she actually trains me. She tells me what to do, and I do now." Because my son laughs at us, right? Because I always tell him what he shouldn't be eating some certain food, and my son goes, "Mom, leave him alone. Let him enjoy his food." And I said, "No, the reason why he looks like that is because I feed him what
Yeah.
he needs." So my husband, he's like, "No, she's doing good. Yeah, she. This is how I like it. She's doing really good." So, but yeah, I get talk back from my son, "Mom, leave him alone." It's like that's why he looks like that.
Yep. Well, and you mentioned before you have grandkids that are they still doing dance? Are they still in that?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. The older one, she's 15. She just
Okay.
turned 15 yesterday. Yeah, we celebrated her birthday, but she's 15. And I was looking at pictures like, man, I remember when we were taking her home from the hospital, and it was snowing,
Mm.
and now look at her. She's 15
I
years
think she
old.
was
She's
like
still dancing.
I think she was like 12 when we first had you on. So yeah, she's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, so she's still dancing. I think she has a competition in May.
Oh, okay.
She's doing a competition in May as a solo, so we're gonna go and watch that.
Are there schools being bipolar as well when it comes to like just shutting down for a week or doing online stuff, or have they just been fully in school
No,
for the whole time?
they've been in school. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, the governor, he said that they don't have to wear a mask or
Uh,
whatever. But the counties, they've been fighting back and said, no, we're just gonna have a mandate. We're gonna continue with the mandate. I'm like, well, this is a new governor. This is what he's saying. It should be up to the parents, to do what they want to do with their kids. But they're fighting the governor back, and I'm like, well, but the girls, they wear their mask because it's a habit for them, and hey, whatever makes them more comfortable. But
mm,
no, they're doing really good. The girls are
that's
doing
great.
really good.
That is
Yeah,
great. And yeah, I
yeah.
mean, she's
So,
yeah. I mean, not much changes over the 8 months, but we'll have her on again in 8 months, and see where she's
yeah.
at again. For anyone out there though, just to want to know what day this was, I did wake up to some bad news, learning that Meatloaf died. He was one of my I that
Oh
was always on
yeah,
my party playlist whenever I was
yeah,
going out and stuff. Were you ever a Meatloaf fan?
yeah. He's
Yeah,
really, he's good, and then I like his acting.
yeah.
He makes me laugh.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Every once in a while, I'd
Yeah,
watch that. I remember
yeah,
him from
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. But no, there's some songs that is like, but he's up there in age too. What, 70s?
He
And
was 77, and then Louis
yeah,
Anderson just died too this morning. So another famous comedian that I literally saw him a couple of years ago with my parents. So yeah,
uh huh,
yep,
yeah.
a lot of
This and
people.
was it COVID also?
I don't know. Do you know if Meatloaf was COVID?
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah.
was. Oh, okay.
It was COVID. And then yeah, I think it was COVID. And then like a friend of ours, he died. It was COVID.
Yeah.
He was also a bodybuilder,
Oh
Frank
yeah.
Calta. He was one of the older bodybuilders. Frank Calta was his name, but he died. And it was COVID.
Well, and I didn't ask you this last time because it didn't really affect it as much, but like there have been a lot of bodybuilders that have passed in this last
Yeah,
year. Because like I had you on in May, and then I think like right before the Olympia, there was a couple of them, and then there was the
yeah,
one bodybuilder that died like on the stage, not on the stage, but like passed out.
yeah.
What has
Old
been your
young women.
reaction to seeing sort of all that? Because I think it's been so eye opening for the people to just sort of see like how this sport can be so extreme, and also like some of the extremes that people take in this sport just
Yeah,
to walk on that stage.
yeah. I think a lot of it, first of all, like when you talk about the stuff that they take, they were really dissing one of my some of them were dissing my coach, um, Shelby
Oh
Stearns
yeah,
was talking about.
he was getting a
Yeah,
lot of crap. I
yeah,
didn't say anything myself because I knew it was like this guy's got so many good athletes though too. It's like if one of your athletes has something wrong happen to him, remember this guy also has like 1,000 other ones. So that's
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And that guy never did me any wrong, but
Yeah.
they said all these bad things, and I'm like, sometimes when you have a coach and he tells you what to do, but sometimes you don't really listen to your coach and you do other stuff that he didn't tell you to do, that kind of stuff. So you think you're gonna get much better because he gives you this, and then it's like you're gonna go behind his back and do something else. So I'm like, I was I was upset when I heard a lot of bad stuff about Shelby.
Yeah,
And
the only
I'm
thing
like,
I said is that like I know hundreds of his guests on that have had nothing but complaints about him and say that he's a great trainer. So yeah, that's the only thing
yeah,
I said too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I sent him a message and I told him, I'm behind you 100% because he never did me any wrong.
Hmm.
I mean, I looked the best I ever looked with this man,
Hmm.
and so I think a lot of it has to do with you know diuretics and stuff like that. Um, you you it. I mean, I there's some stuff that I won't do,
Hmm.
where others would push the envelope
Yeah.
to do.
You're playing with
Just
poison with diuretics, basically. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's scary.
Hmm.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it just because some other person. And then sometimes do it. It might not be related to the sport.
Yep.
Just because you're a bodybuilder doesn't mean that the drugs did
Well,
it
and a
for
lot of his
you.
pre-existing conditions too that were
Yeah,
just exacerbated by like diuretics and other stuff like that too.
yeah,
So yeah.
exactly. But right away when I feel my heart breaks when I hear, one of us,
Mhm.
one of bodybuilder dies, But, a lot of people jump to the conclusion, oh, it's all the drugs and stuff like that that they take. Hey, wait a minute, you don't know
Mhm.
that's what they're taking. You don't know that they're taking that drug or, that diuretic or, they talks about their coach and it's like, no, the coach is not there to try to kill you. Although some might go to the extreme, but um, my experience of mine was really good
Mhm.
experience. I mean, I, I, I look the best I've ever
Mhm.
looked. I never suffered with like he's always like tells me, how do you like the food that you're on? You're getting enough and stuff like that. And yeah, but man, they really burned him, and when they talk so much negative, and I'm like, look at yourself
Yeah.
as a look at yourself too. Are you sure you're really doing, what you're supposed to be doing? Or some of them are trainers to themselves
Yeah.
and they talk bad about another trainer. How can you do that?
Mhm.
Just so that you can probably try to grab a client
Yeah.
away from that person. Don't go dissing somebody else because you don't know, or don't people that talk about these people that died. You don't know what happened to them. Right
Mhm.
away, you say drugs did them, or right away, like you put your picture out there, right? I haven't been on social media for a while. I don't really put my pictures out there,
Mhm.
and right away they say, "Yeah, she's so dropped to the max." Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And usually it's the people that look like shit
Yeah.
that do the talking. It's like, are you kidding me?
And I
You
mean,
know?
just even looking at your voice, you're not talking to me like this, like, "Hey, Ryan, how's it
Yeah,
going?" Stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it's
yeah.
ridiculous.
I mean, I still have all my hair.
Yeah.
I don't have any. You
Yeah.
know,
I think
it's
it's just
like,
also because you're short too as well, so your muscles are much more compact than like let's say if
yeah,
you were like 6 feet tall and stuff like that. Yeah.
but it's right away. It's like, oh God, yeah, she's gonna die with all these drugs that she's taking. It's like, wow,
You're
you
like
don't
60
even,
years old already.
yeah, 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 you don't even know me.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of like laugh it off. It's like
Mm.
until you know the person,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, sometimes um, you take certain things and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
And then, but that if you are taking certain things, you go and you get yourself checked
Mhm.
to make sure that your blood levels are okay. And if your blood levels are okay, good. But if they're not, don't keep taking
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, I know a
You-
person that just got out of the sport because they went to get their blood drawn and they're like, "Oh, you're like terrible right now with like your blood." And they're like, "Okay, I'm
Yeah,
done with the sport now. I'm being healthy now."
yeah.
So yeah.
Don't take all this stuff if you've already gotten your blood work,
Mhm.
and it right. It is hard,
Mhm.
training, and I'm taking all these natural supplements out there. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, I train my ass off. I mean,
Mhm.
a friend of mine at the gym, she goes, "How do you do it?" I said, "It's all up here in the mind." I
Yeah.
said, "But believe you me, in the morning when I wake up, I'm like an old lady. I'm dragging because everything hurts. But it's all up in the mind. You push yourself, Um, but not everybody is doing the same thing you're doing. So don't say that a lot of people are doing.
Mhm.
They died because of the drugs or the
Yeah.
diuretics or that, and or this trainer is like training 1,000 clients a month. Come
Mhm.
on now.
Yeah.
Don't talk about other people
Mhm.
if you don't know exactly what's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So, and everybody to each his own,
Yeah,
you
you're
know. That,
talking about the pain the day after that. I just remember some of my high school football games when all the adrenaline's worn off the next morning and you wake up and you're just like
yeah,
you felt like you got hit by a train basically, and then you just you're getting out of there. So yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah. I mean, yeah. Everybody's different to each his own. I
mhm.
mean, what you got to do. You know how far you want to take it. Some people want to take it to the extreme
Mhm.
where it's really detrimental to their health.
Yeah.
Some people just want to just train just for the joy of training.
Mhm.
But don't talk about other people if you don't know what's really going on, behind. But yeah, it's sad that this year or last year
Mhm.
we've lost quite a few.
Mhm.
Some have underlying illnesses.
Mhm.
Some we don't know if it's a diuretic or whatever they're taking. Um, we'll, we won't know.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it might be true,
Yeah.
but my personal opinion is I'm not going to talk about people that I
Mhm.
don't know what happened to them. All I know is it's their turn. God said you're coming, so you're gonna come. So
I mean, I've said this 1,000 times, so I'll repeat it again. Like, obviously, I don't care what anyone does because, you
yeah,
still got to put the work in the gym. But the only problem I have is with people who are clearly not natural telling people that, like, oh, you can look just like me if you just follow my workout routine and stuff like that and
yeah,
follow my nutrition. That's the only time I draw a line in the sand where I'm like,
yeah.
okay, come on now. Like, if you have a guy that's like, if you have like, what was his name? He was a really, really big guy and he just recently died. He was huge in the industry though, and he was like massive. He was
Oh,
shit.
Rich
Yeah,
PR.
yeah. Obviously, he's not nat, and like he was very open about. But if you have a guy that looks like that,
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, you can look like this just by following my workout routine. It's
yeah,
like, come on, dude. Like
yeah,
honestly, and there are people like that where I will call them out and be like, just be honest with people then, and don't
yeah,
lie to them and say that they can get those results just by working out. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because you you know, to me, if you are gonna be doing that kind of stuff, it's don't just don't go overboard with it and go get your labs, go get your blood taken and stuff like that. And don't do something because another person is doing it. And if he's, just because that person is taking this amount, that you're going to take that amount, because not everything works for everybody else. And um, you know, to me, this is the sport that I enjoy, and not everybody's going to make $1 million with this sport, believe it or not.
I don't
So
even know if anyone's ever gonna make $1 million with
yeah,
this sport.
yeah, yeah. Only the top
Yeah.
people, that make the Olympian,
I mean, I don't even
um,
know if Andrea Shaw's ever gonna make $1 million in her lifetime, just because the pay discrepancy is still
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. I mean, um, she's one top bodybuilder.
Oh,
She's
she's
yeah,
yeah, she's
she's she's
amazing.
she's a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed being around her and stuff like that. She's very inspirational. But my with some of these other competitors, not everybody has the genetics as Andrea. Not everybody can look like her. So just do what you can with what you have.
Mhm.
And don't think that taking all these supplements are going to make you look like that, because it's not. A lot of it is just her make. It's her make. It's not the supplements are not going to make you look like that at
Just one of
all.
those genetic freaks that you just have to just say, hey,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So just take what you got and just build, just
Mhm.
go from there, because yeah, uh take what God gave you
Mhm. Yeah.
and work it out. Yeah, because not everyone can be an Andrea Shaw
Yeah.
or an Iris Kai or
Mhm.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Is there a timetable for when you'd think of if you're gonna compete this year or not, or are you just gonna just see what happens?
Yeah, if the first one, if I do anything, it's all Chicago Pro. I think it's in like the summertime.
Yep.
Yeah, Chicago. The three I always do Chicago. I like Tampa because it's my hometown, and the New York Pro. Those are the three main shows that I always target. I love those shows. They're all good shows, but that's my favorite. I've never done a Linda Murray one, Savannah Pro. Linda is also a very good promoter, so I go where I feel very comfortable. You know,
Yep.
but we'll see.
I was gonna say
my
you're only like you said, you're only like 15, 10, 20 pounds up, so I mean it's not gonna be that hard to, shed it all if you really want to
no,
decide to. So at least you're keeping it at an angle where you could at least, you have the opportunity to
yeah,
compete if you want to
yeah,
again.
where I
Yeah.
don't have to suffer with so much cardio and stuff
Mhm.
like that. Yeah, so I'm keeping it where I can just like, okay, we can start this now again.
Yeah.
Um, but in the meantime, I just enjoy training,
Yep.
and just keeping fit, and having lots of cheats here and there.
So I've asked you this a million times before, but like if you were given like a last meal, what would you have?
Um, I like lobster.
Yep.
I love lobster, and that's still not a very big cheap meal.
For me, it wouldn't even be like a meal. It would just be a sample of everything that I like. It would just be like a
Yeah,
sample of like 15 different things. But yeah,
yeah.
I could not make that choice, myself. But you guys, it's funny because I was originally gonna have a podcast. So sometimes when I schedule these podcasts, I do have days sometimes in the week where I have like 2 or 3 of these a day, and then I get most of the week's podcast just done that way so I can edit. So I had a podcast originally scheduled an hour after I started with Maria, because normally these last like 45 to 50 minutes. But with Maria, we all know it's going to go over an hour just because the conversation is so great. So I even told her, I was like, hey, can we start an hour early just in case, because I know it's going to happen. So yeah, we are now at an hour and 25 minutes right now.
Oh, we
So
are. Oh my gosh.
yep. So unfortunately, as great as this has been, we do have to wrap things up in a little bit just so I can even get ready for the next guest that I have on. But again, Maria, As always, an absolute delight to have you on, and it's great to finally have met your husband. I'll definitely include that in the podcast too, so everyone can see. You know, obviously, when you're training with a guy that looks like that, it serves as extra added inspiration, no matter if you're training him or not. You know, that
Yeah.
is. Oh, but I just got to ask, what is the bill like for all the protein that you guys have in your house? Then, good God.
Oh my God. Don't, yeah. Don't, yeah, with the
What is that
price
like?
of beef.
Half of your was that half of your retirement checks that you got coming in is
Oh
going to
my
the
God.
protein?
It's a lot because like he has to have his steak
Yeah.
every day, pretty much. You know, the price of beef has gone up, what,
Ugh,
20
yeah.
something percent? So it's going, yeah, it's yeah, I don't want to mention what I do with it, but yeah, so it's quite a bit between
Yeah.
Costco and the commissary. The commissary is supposed to be cheap because it's a military
Yeah.
store, but it's not.
You think they would give you a discount after being such a loyal customer for all these years?
I know, right?
Yeah. Just give it to her for like half off. You know she's gonna buy like 10 gallons or 10 pounds of it, like every
Well,
week or
I
something.
was
Yeah.
thinking of finding somewhere where and I think I can go down to West Virginia and get a cow, at least half a cow,
Yeah.
buy half a cow. They probably cheaper that way.
Well,
Uh,
if you go directly to the farmers, you could probably get it cheaper too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, get half. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the best way. With the price of beef going up and stuff
Yeah.
like that, it might be the best route.
Either that or you can get like those impossible burgers at McDonald's or at Burger
I've,
King where it's yeah.
I've got some Impossible Burgers actually in the
Never
in the
tried it and I've never had any intention of doing it anyway. Yeah.
it's very tasty.
Hmm.
It's actually very good. The only thing is, it's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you shouldn't
Does
be
it
eating.
taste like a burger though?
To me, it does.
Yeah.
And even my son, who loves beef, who
Mhm.
loves burger, he loves that. But then, yeah, that's a lot of carbs in that Impossible Burger, and it's just not a healthy choice. They think that it's a healthy burger, but it's not.
Well, you're talking to a guy that has a list of his top favorite 50 burger joints that he's ever visited. So, I'm a pretty big burger guy myself,
Yeah,
so if I ever visit a new place, that's the first thing I order, no matter what, unless they are obviously like a seafood place or something like that. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm a good I make a good burger.
I bet, and one of
Yeah,
these days you might have to either send me one or if I'm ever down in the Virginia area, I'll let you know and I'll have to taste test one of those because yeah, my dad, let's be honest, he doesn't make the best hamburgers. Whenever he announced like last night when he announced it's burger night, I'll have one just to, get his ego, really, but other than that,
well, if
uh,
you're ever in Virginia, you're welcome here.
oh yeah, we'll get a home workout. So I'll train with you and your husband. Then I'll get a little pump going. But again, you guys, Maria, as always, one of the favorite guests to have on. She's just such a great guest to talk. It's one of those guests where I know that like the conversation is just gonna flow and it's so funny because I remember the first time that I was gonna have you on, we almost didn't do it because like our technology was out of funk. And you're like, oh,
Yeah,
do you even really want me on? And I was like, yeah, sure, I guess. Like, it even got to the point where, like, I was like, do I even want her on? Because, like, it took us, like, 4 tries to, like, get it finally going, and finally got it going, and now she's, like, my favorite guest to have on now. So it just goes to show you with everyone, you never know what you're going to pick. Because, like, even going into it, I was like, is she even going to, like, be a good guest? Like, it doesn't seem like she talks that much. And then as soon as we started talking, it was like, okay, yeah, she's great. So,
yeah. Hey, if the subject is food, you're gonna get me talking.
oh my God, we're going to have to do one of these podcasts is going to be just all food. And I'm going to be having her on when she's 80 years old, everyone. So, she's going to be a long time guest. But again, you guys, Maria, thank you so much for coming on. I got to wrap things up now because I got to get something to eat before I have my next guest on. Otherwise, I'm going to have a freaking heart attack over here. But again, everyone go and check her out. I'll leave a link to her Instagram page, which she hasn't posted on in a while, but still just some motivating stuff on there anyways. But again, this is Ryan Johnson, DD on the spot signing off. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.